going to do a different live stream. I'm going to be looking at what happened on the Fedora project during the past week. And for that, I'm going to use a tool that I have been working on for the past weeks, certainly less than a month, but probably somewhere in the range of weeks. And this tool is bringing down information from various places in the Fedora project. So there's Fedora discussions, the discourse-based forum. I'm looking at the topics that happened over the past week. There's also the meetings on Matrix. They are gathered on meetbot.fedoraproject.org, so you have all the logs ready already. I'm bringing them down together with the discussions, and I'm also looking at the mailing lists posts. So all the mailing list threads and posts that happened over the past week. And I'm getting all that together, and I'm feeding that to an LLM that is summarizing the activity of the week for me, broken down by groups, basically. And the reason I'm doing that is that, so I've been contributing to the Fedora project for a long while now. Pretty embarrassing to say how long, but almost before, well, it's a very long time, basically since it started a little bit before that. And it has grown gigantically over the past 20 years. To a point where it's very, very hard to follow what's going on in the project itself, because there's so many parts, so many moving parts, so much activity in various places. So now that we have tools that can summarize text in a somewhat correct manner, I thought it would be interesting to apply them to all the activity that we have in the Fedora project. So I've written a tool that brings down these sources of information together, feeds that to an LLM, and produces a web page with the content. And of course, since it's the output of an LLM, it should be checked. And basically, that's what we're going to do today. So let me show you what it looks like. I'm going to show you the output right now, and then we can discuss what should be fixed. So I have brought down all the sources of information, and I have extracted all the announcers. So announcers are in a different place in the Fedora forums, and they are also on Devel Announce. So this is a summary of the announce this week. And then I have all the groups. There's a lot of them. Blah, 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 blah. I should probably add a table of contents there, but let's talk about that later. And that's all the groups. And then I have made them for previous weeks. So, but I mean, it's getting like, starting from this week here, I don't have the mailing lists because I didn't have them at the time. So I have some previous weeks already produced, and we're going to look at this week. So first, the format, that's what it looks like. I mean, first, of course, the design layout thingy. It's very basic. I haven't asked the design team to do something for me. So I've basically used the font that is somewhere in Fedora, and haven't made anything pretty on the graphical design part of things. So, and once I have produced all the announcers and all the groups, I ask the LLM one more time for a summary of everything. So here, with a focus on cross-team collaboration, basically. So here, I have the summary of this week, and if you have followed what happened, you may be able, hey, you're not seeing it, sorry about that. So this is what it looks like. So, and if you have participated in the Fedora project, I'm interested in your point of view, whether this is actually relevant or not. So I'm going to read it aloud. So primary focus this week across multiple groups for the Fedora 44 release cycle, which reached a major milestone with a better freeze and 100% code complete deadline. So that's true, right? It happened on Tuesday. Well, at least the Fedora infrastructure was frozen on Tuesday. So that's actually the better freeze. We're in it. This event dropped the FESCO committee to reject several incomplete changes for the release, of course, because that's the code complete deadline. And the quality team conducted a blocker review meeting. Well, blocker review meetings. And the infrastructure team entered its own freeze. A significant cross-group discussion also emerged regarding package maintainer responsibilities, with FESCO, Workstation, GNOME, and packaging groups all debating the use of autoresponders that direct run bugs reporters upstream. Right. Of course, that can be a problem, as you can imagine. Other common efforts included the continued migration of project infrastructure to Forjo by the Mindshare, Apple design team, and initial planning of the future Fedora 45 release. Sounds correct, right? So that's so now the announcers. So we had, of course, it's the beta freeze. Let's check the links. That's the announcement on the discussion, right? That's correct. Beta freeze taking effect on February 17th. This milestone means only fixes for accept broken bugs will be included in the beta composers. Coinciding with the freeze, the body updates testing repository was activated for F44, software string freeze began. In other development, a list of packages that consistently fail to build were published. This is so exciting. I'm excited for new Fedora release, so updates on the process like this are much appreciated. Well, thank you very much. I'm pretty much in the same situation. This all brings back a lot of excitement from something that I couldn't really follow as I used to. So let's check the links. List of packages that failed to build? Yup, indeed. Whoa, that's a long list. Okay, well, good. Thank you. Actually relevant. On the infrastructure front, the transition to using Packit as the default CI for Fedora dist-git is now complete. Really? Prove it. Final phase. Yay! That's correct. Marking the final phase of rollout, which officially replaces the legacy CI system. Looking ahead, the community is involved to participate in the Podmine 5.8 test week from February 27th to March 6th. Let's check. Yes. Yes, it's actually February 27th to March 6th. Very good. Well done, LLM. The event offers a chance for users to explore the new features like faster parallelized pools and contribute to ensure the final version is stable for everyone. Seems correct. Okay, that's the announcements for this week, and now we have the groups. I have sorted them in a somewhat arbitrary order. Like I have FESCO first, and I have the council first if there was a meeting. That wasn't this week, but it should be first otherwise. There's FESCO, there's Mindshare, and all the communication groups. There's the editions then, the Workstation, GNOME and KDE, server, and then there's infrastructure and Relange and quality, and then there's design and legal and packaging. There's Apple, there's ELN, all those related to Enterprise Linux. Then there's the Atomic editions, so Atomic Chorus. Should they breed together, Atomic Initiative and Chorus? I'm not sure. And then there's AOT and ARM because they're somewhat related, and RISC-V as another architecture. And then there's the languages, so Go, Perl, Ruby, Python if it's there, but there wasn't anything this week. Okay, so let's go over all this. I should add a table of contents. Really, that would be useful. Let me think about that. Can we do that easily with Pelican? Table of contents. I suppose it should be simple. Get Pelican extract talk. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Writing contents, yeah. From the official source. So table of, oh no, okay. Well, too bad. Anyway, plugins, maybe it's gonna create plugins, okay, signals, blah, 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 recipe, new writer, okay. So it should be in a plugin probably. Markdown.extensions.talk key to the Markdown dictionary. Oh, you can do that in Markdown itself? Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. That's one way to do it. And then there's a plugin, I suppose. Oh, sorry. I'm going into a rabbit hole right now. Let's go. Let's keep going. So Fesco. Fesco had a meeting on 26th, on the 17th. Good. Is that the actual link to the meeting? That looks like the actual link to the meeting. Yes. Well done. The committee reviewed the status of several incomplete changes for the upcoming Fedora 44 release, resulting in multiple rejections and one postponement. The request to revert the Node.js npm swappable alternatives changes was also rejected. A key topic of discussion was the use of autoresponders for GNOME-related bug reports in Bugzilla, which direct users to upstream trackers. This practice was seen as conflicting with maintainer responsibilities, I would agree with that, prompting a broader forum discussion on the matter. Let's look at this forum discussion. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. 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 Good. Oh, there's even Neil. Hey. It's also pointing to a discussion you participated in, of course. Good. Additionally, for the future Fedora 45 release, the change to enforce signature checking by default went live in Rawhide, and the proposal to restrict ptrace by default was formally submitted to Fesco for a vote. Decisions taken. That's something that I asked the LLM to extract for me. So, of course, this was rejected. The change proposal was rejected. Link 27 was rejected. KTLS rejected. MKOSI initRD was moved to Fedora 45, sorry, and discuss reports asynchronously. Let me check the links here, because this is the meeting. Oh, there's a link to the line itself? Nah. Oh yeah, that's the meeting summary. No. How do I get to the actual logs? Huh. That's not the full log. Interesting. So Fesco on February 17th. Okay, the link that I want is not this link. It is the full logs as HTML. Why the latest? Oh yeah. Okay. Weird. That's not the full logs. Huh. How do I get the full logs? As plain text? Oh, okay. No. Weird. How do I get the full logs? Can I get the full logs? Oh, full logs, of course, not permalink. Well done, as HTML, let's go. Okay. So that's the full logs. Okay, .log.html. I probably want to link to that, right? Instead of linking the summary. Okay, that's interesting. So in the code base that I have, that means because that's mode here, I'm using the URL here, and the URL is not, sorry, rambling a little bit, but I'm going there. Got around, super interested in this, so I hope to watch the VOD later. Yes, there will be a VOD, of course. So let me show you. Yeah, I'm going a little bit into what generates the output here. Here I have a link to the summary, which is, sorry, .html, and I should probably have .log.html. Yes, that's much better. Okay, and then it's going to give me the line. What line was it pointing me to? 74. Does this actually work? Not sure. 74. Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. Yeah, I'm not sure about the 74 thing. Okay, let's go to the content itself. I'm going to... So the URL here is the meeting URL here, but I'm going to make something better. So get meeting summary. Yes. And meeting URL up until -5. So I can remove the .html and add instead .log.html. That's going to be the actual URL. Good. And now let's look at the generated content here. So this here, I'm going to point to the actual logs. .log.html. Good. And now from discussions, that's correct. And here, the request to invoke the contingency mechanism, I don't think I need to point to this log every time. I could look. Yeah, it's .log.html, please. And I could look at what line it was, though. That would be interesting. Node.js. Node.js. Okay. So this here would be the actual line. How do I get the line? Yep. Agreed, rejected. Invoke the content. Okay. I'm going to point to this, the start of the topic. How do I know what line this is? It's very annoying that it's not available. Do I have something like L something? Oh yeah, that's there. L112. It's very annoying that this isn't a clickable link, or I can't get. So I'm going to be doing 112 here. Would that work? It's bringing me to. Hey, Extremely, how are you doing? So we're looking at the Fedora activity for the past week, generated by some program that I've been working on for the past weeks, and that I hope will make it easier for anyone to follow what goes on in the Fedora project, because Fedora project it's an awesome collaboration system. Not system, but like it's an awesome collaboration event, basically. We have thousands of people working together, and it's kind of hard to follow, and I hope to make that easier for people. So 112. Is that right? It brings me to in discussion. Maybe I'm not on the right one. Or maybe that's not really how it should be done. Let's go with 5. Of course. Yeah. So I suspect that 112 is behind the top here. So let's say 09. Let's see if that's better. It's not really great to do that, but is there a one? Yeah, there's L. Wait, what? Did I make a mistake here? Oh yes, 109. Okay. So the topic becomes revert Node.js npm change, so it's going to be 110. Okay, so I have to remove 2. That's 2 lines that are behind this top line. Really not practical to do that, but anyway. Okay, so that's going to be L1110. Oh, L110. That was here, L110. Okay, good. Then, unify, what else do we have? Unification of bootloader updates phase 1. Let's look. What's the next topic? Unification of bootloader, was that before? No. Well, that's where it would be useful to have this. Topics covered. Blah, 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 blah. Unification. There it is. It's after... Oh, there's a lot. Oh, wait, it's way lower. There's actually way more. There's actually way more. Oh, unification of bootloader, that's where it is. W 294. Wow, there's way more. So the summary has really limited the number of decisions that were taken. So there's not just unification of bootloaders, but if I look at the log itself, there's like an enormous amount of changes that were decided upon. I think. So agreed. Let's look at all the agreed. I don't have a summary of the agreed. That would be nice. Let's look at the agreed, okay? Node.js, we got it. Packager maintaining responsibilities, okay. Will be discussed async. Okay, that's actually, that's true. That was line 217. Oh yes, I did. I said I need to remove 2 lines, but so 2. Line 217. So 215. Do I have it? Yes. Okay. What else? Unification of bootloader. Okay. I did this one already. Next. Contingency mechanism. Why, there's only 3? Oh, there's only 3 agreed. Okay. Well, okay. What else do we have? Erlang 27 was rejected. Let's go. Topic incomplete Erlang 27. That's 359, so 357. 357. Okay. Then KTLS. What else do we have? KTLS. Sorry. KTLS. Yes. This one is 427. Good. And then MKOSI. Oops. No, not here. Here. Sorry. MKOSI. That's it. MKOSI. And that's going to be 550. So here, MKOSI is going to be, no, 450. 448. Okay. Good. Let's regenerate this. So how do I regenerate that? I do not need to collect. No summarize, because I don't reapply the summary. I just want to build the site. And it's a draft. For now. That's actually funny. Daft. I have some verification in place, so if there's links that appear multiple times, it's usually not a good thing. Well, it's not, maybe things are a little bit wrong, so I have all these checks, I'm gonna check them later. So I have rebuilt it, and now on the main page, I should have correct links. Right, this brings me to the actual topic revert Node.js changes, that's good. And for this one, for example, oh, this one is still, yes, that's the one that I forgot. Is it the only one? It was obviously the only one, and I clicked on it. Well done. Well, good fuzzing, good fuzzing. Let's try again. MKOSI initRD. Yes, that's the topic started. Okay, good, that's good. I should probably tell the LLM to do something a little bit bigger for FESCO, because it's an important body in Fedora. I should probably ask it to summarize it a little bit less, like give me more information on there. There's also a lot of other decisions that have been taken that I do not see in the summary. Let's look. I'm not going to look at the entire FESCO meeting, that's going to be a little bit too long, but I'm going to look at the topics. Okay, agreed. Topic Fedora GNOME, blah blah blah, agreed. Topic incomplete changes report. I don't know what that is. No objection, let's roll with that. Okay. In automatic DTB selection. Yeah, that's not really a big thing. Info is updated to on QA today and should be on track. Not really a decision. Unified bootloader, I have this one. CoreOS on Conflux, revisited next week. Okay. Do I have this in my summary? I do not. Do I want it in the summary? Unification of bootloader, the build Fedora CoreOS on Conflux. Yeah, okay, it's just postponed. Okay. CMake, use Ninja. Okay, nothing very important actually. Incomplete, okay. Dang, Fedora miracle, okay. Change is big worked on. Yeah, that's not really a decision. Actually, maybe the LLM is actually right in the sense that it's not showing, it's showing me the decisions. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Let's go with the next group then. I'm pretty pleased with that. Okay then. Mindshare. The Mindshare group focused on platform migration, event planning, and community engagement in their main meeting on February 19th. Oh yeah, I'm gonna update the link. Cause that's interesting, but I want to have the full log. Actually, I think it's better to have the full log. Even though it's kind of hard to switch from one to the other, that's a little bit annoying. I should fix modes to make that easier, actually. Yeah. There should be a link to the full logs from this page. Don't you think? Yeah, I do think so. Anyway, so that's correct. Is it on the 19th? It is on the 19th. The committee discussed this summary from the Fedora Council Strategy Summit, the recent availability of Fedora in Syria, and began the process of migrating its ticket and documentation repositories from GitLab to 4GO, funding requests for 2 upcoming events, European events, and Linux Tiger were reviewed. Okay. On the forum, discussion continued around the migration of the community blog to discourse. Yes, I have seen this. It is there. Good. And the promotion of the upcoming Fedora Hatch event at Scale 23. The decision was made not to fund travel for FOSS 26, but to distribute event presence throughout the year. The community also warmly welcomed back contributor Ramya Parimi, who expressed interest. Is that correct? I didn't check the links. Fedora Hatch event. Yes, that seems correct. FOSS. Yes. Ramya Parimi. Yes. Self-introduction. Okay. Interest in working community health and metrics. Decision taken. Measures community home to be renamed tickets and docs repositories will be migrated from GitLab to 4GO by February 27th. That's soon. Printable template will be created by the design team to acknowledge Fedora sponsorship of snacks and beverages at small events. It was decided that Fedora will not fund contributor travel to FOSS Asia. We talked about that already. To reach a broader audience, the promotional article for Fedora Hatch at Scale event will be published on Fedora Magazine instead of the community blog. Well, good. Ambassadors. The weekly activity ambassadors centered on the forum discussion about organizing Fedora project presence as FOSS Asia, where we talked about that. Contributor Yashwant, hello Yashwant, expressed interest in representing Fedora at the event. Final decision was made and communicated the president will not be able to fund travel for contributors this year. Reason was recent significant community presence at defcon.in. Yep. The goal to spread representation throughout the year. The plan is now to observe FOSS Asia this year to potentially return with a larger presence in the future. Yep. Okay, that seems correct. Workstation. This week a significant discussion took place regarding the responsibilities of package maintainers for non-packages on Bugzilla. Yep. Conversion stemming from a FESCO ticket centered. Let me check that. Yes. The use of an autoresponder or many non-Bugzilla components which direct users to file bugs upstream because the components are not actively monitored. Participants debated whether this practice aligns with the FESCO policy on maintainer responsibilities. Ooh, nice. Yes, that's a pretty good link, which requires maintainers to handle reported bugs. Arguments were made that the autoresponder creates a poor user experience as users only see the message after filing a bug, and it makes it difficult to report legitimate packaging issues. Conversely, some argue that it's unrealistic to expect maintainers of large projects like GNOME to triage the high volume of downstream bug reports, much of which are upstream issues. Potential solutions were discussed, such as using issue templates to inform users before they file bug, and directing users to discussion forums for initial triage. The full discussions can be found here. Does it actually work? Oh yes, it's an actual ticket to the right place. Good. Alright, so no formal decisions were taken. The topic was brought to the forum to gather broader community feedback before FESCO determines potential action items. I'm going to leave that. So KDE. This week's discussion for the KDE group centered on the release of KDE Plasma 6.6 and Framework 6.23 to Fedora 43, 44, and Rawhide. Yes, that's going to be exciting as well. An update to Fedora 42 expected soon. This announcement prompted community members to begin testing the new Plasma login manager, which is slated to become the new default in Fedora 44. That's good. On the technical side, the browser was putting contain native KDE applications. Yes. Okay. Additional recent update caused Marlit's keyboard to crash. Yes. Was quickly identified as an accidental packaging issue. Fix was promptly pushed to the stable repositories. Very good. Server. This week, the server group held a meeting. Yeah, I'm gonna get the good link. Yeah. I mean, if you're reading the summary and you want to know more, you don't go to another summary, right? You go to the full logs. Okay, so server. Let's fix the link. Where's the server? Server. Good. Main topics, review of draft proposal for the group. Okay, governance rule. Okay, is that the actual link? Yes, it is. Status of 44 release testing. Confirmation that the KVM image is working and testing is now priority post beta freeze. Cool. Rating mailing list posts for Meta Williamson. Clarified the recent flood of testing notifications were due to no fixed service issue. Separately, a forum discussion resurfaced with participants expressing strong concerns about data integrity risks of using the no data cow attribute on BTRFS RAID 1. Yes. It's particularly after unclean shutdowns. Group agreed to adopt a more structured meeting routine, which includes assigning a moderator for each topic and concluding with topics with a clear wrap-up, agreement, or action item. Nice. Infrastructure now. This week we entered the beta freeze. And that's a link to the mail sent by Kevin. Excellent. Limiting changes to production environments. A key discussion revolved around freeze break requests. You know what? I should add something. Let me add a to-do. Let me add a to-do here. If you use no data cow, BTRFS isn't going to behave any worse than XFS on X4 on LVM RAID 1. I haven't actually followed this discussion. But unclean shutdowns are bad no matter what. Yep. Well, yeah, but I mean, yes, of course they're bad. But we probably want to handle that in the less bad possible manner, right? README, to-do. To-do, add a table of contents before I forget, thank you very much. And then add a site footer pointing to this week to this repo. Good, that's the to-do. I'm gonna try and remember doing that before uploading. That doesn't need rebuilding the entire thing, well, just rebuilding the site, but not the pages, so that's good. Okay. The team also addressed migration of the Ansible repository to Forge, yes. Oh yeah, I forgot this one. A freeze break request to correct karma requirements for F44. Yes, 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 yes. Caused some issue with existing pull requests during the weekly meeting. I am going to fix this link again. During the weekly meeting, thank you very much. Where is it? It's here. Hey Cyborg, how are you doing? So we're looking at what happened this week in Fedora, which is built by aggregating different sources, the forums, the discussion forums, the matrix meetings, and the mailing list posts. And I'm going over what the LLM has produced as a summary of all that and making sure that nothing wrong. And at the moment, there isn't so many wrong things. That's pretty impressive. We're not there yet. Quality, no. No. Infrastructure, yeah. Weekly meeting, yes. Please give me the entire log. Okay. Where was I? Weekly meeting, monitoring of Zabbix alerts for Bastion mail queues, backlog refinement, a learning session on the NBS proxy. Reactivate the matrix accounts. Yep, I've seen this one. Asking base which create private mirrors for codecs. Yes, I've seen this one as well. Freeze break request was approved to clean the implementation of Fedora branch 14, fix its current state. Okay. That's the one that, yes, that's the same. During a daily stand-up, ticket was reviewed and classed as low priority. I'm not sure that's actually very relevant, but I guess. What is this ticket? That's not actually a link to the correct ticket, right? Or daily stand-up. Let me look at this stand-up. Yeah, that's not very useful. Let me give you the actual proper link. .log.html. I should probably make a link to ticket 13156. How do I do that? Do I have a link to Forgeo right now? I do not. Forge.ferroproject.org, ticket issues, and we're looking at ticket number. Sorry, that's not the one. Ticket number 13156. So 13156. Yeah, of course. That's not how you do things. Sorry, 13156. Hey, that's the one. 13156. Very good. Let's add a link to this one. So, ticket 13156 was reviewed in class as low priority. I'm not sure that's really very interesting, but I guess. Okay, let's rebuild. And now we can move on with Relange. Oh. So Relange. Good. Had one meeting. Oh yeah, I'm gonna link to the full log again. This week, discussion for the standard agenda covering scheduled tasks. Is it the right one? Yeah, it looks like the right one. Scheduled tasks for the Fedora 44 release. Nice. And providing time to address any Relange tickets. Yes, that required attention. No specific decision or action item were recording in the meeting summary. I'm going to remove that because I don't need to mention that no decisions were taken. I mean, it's nice of the LLM, but not really useful. Quality. Quality team's focus was heavily on the Fedora 44 redevelopment cycle. Yeah. Official announcement, beta freeze. Yes. Exception update testing. Yes. Quality meeting. Yes. I'm going to give you the full link to that as well. Quality meeting. Thank you. Team discussed of F44. Major updates like GNOME 15, Kernel Plasma 6.6 have landed. Community testing efforts were also a key topic with a review of recent successful test days for GNOME and Plasma. Announcement of a test week for Kernel 6.19. That's good. Blocker review meeting. Same thing. Give me the full log, please. Was held to trace bugs for the beta release. On the main list, user reported an ongoing issue where F44 installer hangs on older, slower machines, which is now being investigated by the team. That's good. Decisions. During the 44 blocker review meeting, as you know, I would much prefer to have the full link. Thank you very much. The following decisions were made regarding a Fedora 44 beta release. Accepted beta blocker. Okay, that seems like a correct link. GNOME shell crash. Freeze exception. Seems like a right link. Freeze exception. Okay, good. Well, let's go. Design now. During their weekly meeting, I feel like that's going to be a link that I need to fix. Yes. Design team discussed several key topics. Main points of discussion. Let me check that I'm actually summarizing from the full log if I don't find. Yeah, I'm not sure that's correct. Am I getting the full log if I do this? I am getting the full log. That's correct. Okay, good. Anyway, let's go back. All right. So main part of the discussion was migration of their work to Forgeo. Yes, where they plan to manually move tickets and demo the upstream issue templates next week. They also began brainstorming for the Fedora 45 wallpaper with Alan Turing chosen as the source of inspiration. That's great. That's great. We have the source of inspiration for the next wallpaper. Exciting. Excellent. So they agreed to move their weekly meeting from GT to Google Meet, starting from the following link to utilize Gemini for note taking. Yeah, I understand. Okay, legal. Legal had activity this week. That's cool. Discuss a new request from the Fedora documentation team for advice on including instructions for internet transfer from endpoint fusions. That's very interesting. Query specifically on pattern and combat video codecs and proprietary in the driver. The discussion raised questions about whether it's appropriate for official Fedora documentation to direct users to software that Fedora itself cannot distribute. A good point, citing potential legal and ethical issues. No conclusion was reached on this matter. There was also a follow-up on the thread concerning Entlayer 3 package using a non-allowed Unicode license. Richard Fontana confirmed that the license in question is non-FOSS due to a field of use restrictions, as it limits the use of code to creating products that support the Unicode standard. All right, thank you for the summary. Very interesting. Excuse me. So packaging now. So the packaging group discussed two main topics. A conversation about Proton VPN and official repos. Yes. Clarified the history of the Proton SIG. It was noted that the efforts to get official package from Proton stalled. The existing Proton VPN CLI package should be retired, and the SIG itself may also retire. Major discussion was new topic concerning the conflict between package maintainers' responsibilities. Yeah, we know about that one. It was brought to the community for broader discussion following a FESCO ticket. The debate centered on the practice of some non-maintainers autoresponders. Yeah, we know about that one. It's a bit repetitive, but if you're only interested in packaging and you go directly to this header, it's useful to see it repeated here, in case you don't read the entire thing. No formal decisions were taken. The discussion on maintainer responsive was intended to gather community feedback before FESCO decides on potential actions. All right, Apple. This week, the Apple Group finalized the migration of its steering committee issue tracker from Pagure to a new Forge instance. Very good. The move was formally announced, excellent, and discussed in the weekly meeting. Aha, a meeting. Good. Let me fix that. Let me fix the link. Thank you very much. So, Apple weekly meeting. Thank you. Okay. Where a known issue with assigned tickets to arbitrary member was noted and reported upstream, as reported upstream. In other news, an announcement, yes, was made for the Apple 10.2 mass branching schedule for February 23. In preparation for this, a new major version of ROF and UV were pushed to the Apple 10 testing repository. Is that correct, links? Okay. Really? That sounds strange. Oh, I guess not. Okay. That makes sense. Let's keep going. Finally, the OpenSSL 3 package for Apple 8 was officially orphaned as no new maintainer step forward. Good. The Apple Steering Committee issue tracker migration to Forge was completed. Yep. OpenSSL was orphaned. All right, ELN. ELN group held a single meeting. Ah, that's a link to a meeting. Let me fix the link. Yes, thank you very much. Log.html. Yes, a meeting of February 17th. The main topic of discussion was a potential ELN hyperscale variant, with members reviewing related work from CentOS hyperscale and kernel arc. The group also briefly discussed an older issue. Is that a correct link? Yes. And a DNF5 pull requests. So Conan Kudo, hello, that's you, was tasked with outlining the requirements needed for an ELN hyperscale variant. Good luck with that. SIG members were invited to file tickets with their big IDs for ELN to be discussed in the future. All right. Atomic now. So I wonder if I should merge Atomic and CoreOS, but I don't think, actually I'm not sure that's actually relevant. One meeting, so that's not actually correct. The Atomic group, that's probably a bad idea. Yes. Yeah, I'll keep them together. So the Atomic group Adam and Chorus are different people. Yeah. Right. Yeah, okay, let's keep all of that together. So I don't really like the way it's outlined here. So the Atomic Initiative held one meeting, and that's where the link is going to be. One meeting this week. .log. One meeting this week. Let's rebuild. So, held one meeting this week. Okay, that's a good link. Do I actually have this? Yes, Atomic Initiative. Good, 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 good. Key topics including the potential use of the BVCCAR tool with Atomic desktops to discuss progress on base images repository, noting that fixing integration tests for F44 base images is currently blocked as they require access to Firestore DB to retrieve logs. And they began coordinating the scheduling of future video call. Very good, okay. HRestore will open an upstream issue to inquire about using BVCK with Atomic desktops and create a corresponding documentation tracker issue. All right, Chorus now. The weekly Chorus meeting, yep. Let me fix this link. I'm going to do that for each of them now, and next time it'll be good. Because I have fixed the generator. Log. Since I'm going over all of them anyway, the team focused on the upcoming Fedora 44 rebase and setting an update to Podman. Main topic was the risky automatic database migration from BoldDB to SQLite in Podman v5.8. That's a good concern to have. The group discussed the best strategy for a safe rollout. They approved the addition of the KMS con package to support a larger change in Fedora 44. A live video meeting was scheduled for the following week to discuss a specific ignition pull request. Interesting. I have no idea what this is about, but if I want, I can investigate. Released on the next stream. Okay, first to allow for testing database migration before it reaches the testing and stable streams. The team will consult with Podman maintainers before shipping Podman 5.8. Okay. KMS con package will be added to Fedora Chorus for F44 and newer releases. Okay, IoT now. They had one meeting. One meeting this week. Okay, so they held one meeting this week. IoT held one meeting this week, focusing on the status of different Fedora releases. 43 testing is proceeding well, despite a long-standing encrypted install failure on ARch64, tracked in issue 22. Seems correct. Fedora 44 has entered its beta freeze with good OpenQA results. Following a smooth branching, Fedora 45 Rawhide is showing some new issues in testing, including an unusual version check failure and potential key problems related to a new signature checking policy, which are currently under investigation. The team also plans to review and close all issues in the tracker soon. KGUST was tasked with investigating the root cause of the version date mismatch in Fedora. Okay, interesting. RM now. The RM group's activity consisted of a follow-up discussion on the mailing list regarding CPU temperature monitoring on Raspberry Pi devices. That's actually a good discussion. Interesting. Where is it? It's here. Conversation we originally started in January continued with a user asking if a solution that works on Raspberry Pi would also be expected to work on Raspberry Pi 4. The discussion ended with a request for clarification. The questions, no decisions were taken. I can remove the no decisions were taken thing. I appreciate you, because I've asked the LLM to outline the decisions that were taken. So if there isn't any, it's just saying that there are none, which isn't exactly very useful. RISC-V now. They had their meeting. Oh, that's my turn to act. To discuss the architecture status within the Fedora ecosystem, the primary focus was on the upcoming Fedora 43 release. Really? Okay, let me check. Yeah, I mean the actual link. Thank you very much. So 43 status. That's correct. That's correct. Okay, very good. All right, Go now. Let's go to languages. The Go group discussed a broken dependency chain. Well, the Go SIG actually. It's not the Go group. It's the Go SIG. Discussed a broken dependency chain affecting mkcert. The issue stemmed from the Golang Google gRPC package being on FAN, which broke the build from Golang xtext depending on a dependency of mkcert. Conversation detailing the thread Golang xtext, Golang xtools, Golang xtelemetry, Golang blah 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 blah, concluded with a recommendation to move away from system-wide Go libraries in favor of vendoring. Okay, really? Oh, that's not really the policy usually. Yeah, that's not really our policy usually, but mkcert package will be updated to use vendor dependencies to resolve the build issue as recommended in the Fedora Go packaging guidelines. I didn't know that. Okay. Golang packages vendored by default. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. What's that? Okay. Current status. Okay. Interesting. All right, I guess if you have a way to then update everything that where your vendor library is, I guess that can be fixed with tooling, I suppose. A pull request was creating to implement this change. Nice. Is it correct? I suppose it's correct. I mean, yes, I'm not a robot. Use vendor dependencies. Excellent. Okay, Perl, there's actually activity in the Perl SIG. Incredible. So the Perl SIG, not the Perl group. Let's be more specific if we can. Oh, the activity, this week's activity for the Perl group was light, focused on package maintenance. Two pull requests were discussed and merged. First involved a change to the Perl DBD MySQL package. Okay, brief description, refine the commit message, pull request per syntax hunting engine Kate package. Wow, okay. Okay, per request, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Should I put these decisions here? It's really redundant. I'm going to remove the decisions here. Because it's kind of the same thing over again. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Ruby! Let's talk about Ruby. Okay, the group discussed impending retirement of Ruby Gems package, which flags removal due to long-term fail submit from source. The mailing list thread, Mamoru Taka, is it correct? Yes. Proposed the fixing the issue by updating the package. After receiving approval, it was decided to update Ruby Gems to version 4.06 to resolve the build failure before Fedora 44 beta freeze, prevent the package from being retired. Okay. And then that's the article. And then I have a footer that goes into every article. It says it's AI generated and manually edited, which is actually the case. If you see errors, you can send me an email or reach out to me on Matrix. There's a link to the regional logs. There is meeting logs, there is discussion topics, and there is the original mailing list messages. Okay. Well, I think that is worthy of not being a draft. Let's remove the draft title and rebuild again. Okay, so what do you think? And now I'm going to push that. So let's make sure that it's yes. I'm going to push that to its place upstream. And this place upstream is this page here. It's currently on Fedora People. I have put it in Fedora People at the moment. So it's ablepark.fedoraproject.org/twif, this week in Fedora. There you go. And And I'm going to, if it works well, if it's interesting to people, I'm going to put that in a more visible place. I'll ask for a space like maybe something like thisweek.fedoraproject.org, which is similar to thisweek.gnome.org. But first, it's the first time I actually show that to people outside my team. So I'm very interested in knowing what you think about this small project. And the website explains how it's built, etc., etc. I'm going to put the link to the software there. Okay. Let's do this. Well, you have it. Let's check now. Let's go into the technical things. The software is currently published on Codeberg. It's currently on Codeberg, Fedora, on Codeberg/Fedora/This Week in Fedora. I'm going to put that somewhere in the About page. So, yeah, go away, please. Okay, this way gives them. The software that produces these summaries is of course open source free software is called This Week in Fedora. It is, of course, open source free software, and contributions are welcome. And contributions of any kind are welcome. Is called with a D. Okay, based on following sources. Yeah. Software produce summary is called This Week in Fedora. For a corruption of Ingana, welcome. I wanted to close this. Anyway, let's rebuild. Let's look at my local version of it. No. Yes, of course I didn't put the draft there. Let's rebuild the draft as a draft. And now, okay, this website gives a weekly summary of the activity of Fedora project community based on following sources, meetings, Fedora discussions on the mailing list. What is in the future? Summaries large language man than handed. Something goes wrong. Software is called This Week in Fedora. It is, of course, open source free software. I think I've used the AGPL license. Did I do this? Yes, AGPL, because it's building web things. So AGPL is more appropriate. All right. So that means that there's one of the to-dos that I've done, but apropos, it's not in the... Yes, let's look now at table of contents. So how do we do table of contents in Pelican? So there's a plugin here. It cannot be placed anywhere else on the page, in header, or at the end of your article content. This plugin... Pelican can generate talk and rest of and markdown file using the markups. Okay. How do you do that, Pelican, please? It says that you can actually do it. Can you? Oh, I don't like it. Pelican table of contents. Let's check. Table. Huh. Sometimes. Okay, Pelican talk. Alright, so what do we have? Pelican talk, generates table of content, available. Okay, it's using Beautiful Soup 4. I don't really like the idea of using... Yeah, I don't really like the idea of using Beautiful Soup to extract things. I would much prefer if it was reading the markdown itself. Display table of content. So enable the talk extension. Install extract talk. Okay, yeah. Pelican plugin. Huh. It's not the same as extract talk here. This is called Pelican talk. Sounds kind of similar. When was the last release? When was the last tag? On 2017. Yeah, that doesn't bode well. This seems less bad. At least it's part of the Pelican repo, well, get Pelican group, I suppose. All right. All right. Let's do this dance. Get Pelican plugins. What's that? Get Pelican plugins. No, let's get it from the main source here. Okay, Pelican plugins, blah blah blah. Do I have this on my laptop actually? DNF list. Because I'm using Pelican from... Oh no, wait, no. Am I using it from the Pi project? I have imported it, I think. Yeah, I have it imported. Okay. So what should I do? How do I use it? Requires Beautiful Soup 4. Oh, okay. Markdown reader, that's good. Okay, interesting. Let's try. How to use. Well, should I activate the plugin? It's not really clear. Talk? Do I have something about talk here? No. Okay, I guess. Let's look at the configuration. Settings. Markdown. There you go. Extra configuration settings for the Markdown processor. Refer to the... okay. To complete list of supported options, the extensions config. Okay. This is the default. All right. Well, Okay, let's add this to the configuration. So I'm gonna go with pelican.conf, which is the base thing. Markdown, I do not have it. Good. So Markdown now. So I want to have Markdown extension. So this is the basic that goes into extension configs. And now I'm adding this. Oh, yeah, that was already there. Good. And the output format is HTML5. Save it. Okay, so that's now my new Markdown. Okay, excellent. What else should I do? I can use the talk thing. Let's have a look at this. Let's see. What happens if I put this here and rebuild? Okay. I would be surprised if it directly worked, but you know, you never know. Oh! Wow. Okay. It does work. Should I put it below the announcers? Or above? Let's put it below the announcers. Let's see if we... Okay, let's style this first. It's not pretty. Let's style this. So it gives tag class equal talk. Okay, I would like, if possible, to generate a different HTML. Is that possible? I'm not sure I'll be able to do that. Placed at the beginning of article.content, like a string. Oh. Article.talk. Do I have this somewhere? This means that I have this already? Okay, so I have this in my template somewhere. Where are my templates? Index. Okay, I have the article.content here. Let's build with this, see if that works. Did I get warnings? I did not. Okay, so there's nothing. Huh. Well, okay. We'll have to style it ourselves, I suppose. That's fine. That's okay. That's okay. So, I have this table of content. Of course, I want to place it Or maybe I can wrap it. Oh yes, maybe I can do this. So instead, here maybe I'll be able to do that. Div class equal float right. Well, and how is it called now in Bootstrap? I'd like to make a card, maybe. Yeah. I'm gonna do a card, and I'm going to make it float right. Float end. Okay. Card. Float end. Card. Body. Let's try again. Build it. Let's see. What do I get if I do this? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't read it at all. I can't wrap it in HTML, or can I do this actually? Markdown HTML embedded. So I know I can put HTML in there, but it's not going to be reading the inside of it. Yeah, it's not going to read the markdown inside the HTML. So that won't work. I will have to style it myself. Okay, fair. I can do it. So let's look. Let's rebuild. So I have this. That's fine, that's fine. I have this class talk. Okay. I'm inside a entry content div class talk. Okay. So I'm inside entry content. So float right. Okay, and now border and all the stuff. Let's go. I'm gonna do it here because it's gonna be easier. Border 1px solid gray, margin 1 rem, padding 1 rem. Actually, I can get this. This CSS, I see that I have I could use this. That's going to be more coherent with the rest. And now the border. What's the border here? Max width, no. Doesn't have any border? Is this one as a border? Ah, yeah, there it is. And do it for the other one. Thank you very much. No. Yes. Okay. Ah, yeah, that looks better. So. Okay. I have something that kind of looks like, okay, looks right. And now let's add a background color. Let's add a light. I want to have something else. I want to have the background, like the colors. What colors do we have here? What's the background colors? No backgrounds. Yes, background. Ah. Okay. So BG secondary, I suppose. But then the font should be different. Yeah. What does this do? Okay, let's go for BG secondary and see if it looks right. So how do you use BG secondary when I can't? That's it. There you go. Let's reuse that for ours. Okay, so color is going to be different, obviously. Text white. Wow. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem because it's going to look very weird on it's going to be very weird on darker on on dark background if I ever get to implementing that. Let's go for F5, F5, F5. Okay, that looks, and the font should be much smaller because that's really enormous. And I should only have one level. Okay, what are my generation options for this plugin? Looks like I'm gonna have to read it. Okay. Wait, what? Talk.extract. Okay. Huh. It's probably Python Markdown that has this. If I look at Python Markdown, does it have the, it probably has the table of content. What? It's not always useful, you know. Markdown. No, that's not really. That's annoying. Okay, it's always the smallest thing that you spend the most time on. I want to have a smaller font, thank you very much. So I'm going to do that here. First, I'm going to save all that. And save that here. So I'm getting margin, padding. It's not BS card space, well, maybe not. Border radius, background color. And no, not you. Okay, and now I have another rule. And it'll be dot entry content div dot doc li font size okay. it's smaller. It's much smaller. Also, okay, I fixed the padding left. Margin top. Okay. 0. Meh. Weird. I would have only first level. How do I extract only the first level? I hate this, but I'm going to have to look in the code. Right. There's a test for it. That's always good. So it actually comes from Markdown itself, right? From Python Markdown. Okay, so extensions and talk. Talk tree processor. Ah, talk depth, that's what it is. Talk depth. Excellent. One. Okay. Title, no, talk class, that's the thing. Talk class. So, card, maybe, or alert info. Regenerate this. And, oh yes, I have this here for the floats. Float end. Let's see if that works. Oh yeah, that's not great. It did give me the the layout that I wanted, but the depth is not good. Let's go with 2. Ah, that's much better. Okay, so now I have the table of contents. It's much better, I suppose. And I'm going to give it the talk. Oh, so alert, yeah. Alert, not a big fan. Not a big fan. Or maybe I should keep it. Like I have this alert thing. Because if I put card, I'm gonna have to add, like if I put a card, there's also a content that I should put. If I look at the card, like you have cards, but there should be a card body as well, and I can't do that. So alerts, not bad. I mean, info, yeah, that makes sense somewhat. I should give them alert links, but I guess not sure I'll be able to do that. That's primary info. There's light. I mean, I could do light alert. Alert light. And what else do I have access to in the configuration? I can do title class. I can do anchor link class. So anchor link class is going to be alert link. Let's do this. Anchor link class. Okay, let's generate. So what do you see? Ooh, okay. The anchor, did it generate what I wanted? I'm not sure. That's the UL, that's fine. Well, we'll fix it later, I mean. It doesn't have the link, okay. So maybe that's not what they call anchor link. Use anchors, okay. Anchor link. Use permalinks. Permalink class, let's try. No, it's apparently anchor link. Anchor link underscore class. Anchor link underscore class. Let's do this. Anchor link underscore class. It should be this. Anyway, talk depth. Okay. Okay. That's marker. Oh yes, okay. Title, okay, that's the description. Oh, talk link, talk underscore class. No. That's not correct. Let's see if we can get anchor link to true. No. Okay, I wonder what's going on here. I would like to get more information. Of course, what do I do when in this sort of situation? I print things. True, false. Okay. So I should be adding anchor. Oh, maybe. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Correct. Okay, my bad. That's not what I meant. Definitely not what I meant. I don't want to be changing these into anchors. Well, yeah, I don't want to be changing these at all, actually. So, but it means that I don't have access to the links in it. That's a little bit sad. Like talk class. Okay, that's where I'm building the thing, building the title, build the UL. Yeah, it looks like I can't. Yep. Yeah, I don't have access to this. Okay, that's a little bit too bad, but that's fine. What does this involve? Here I have a link. What does this mean to be a link in the light alert? It's probably this. Two things. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Let's try to fix. I didn't know you could do so many things in CSS. Actually, that's fine. Let's keep that for later. And accept that it has a talk. So a hover and and just A. Okay, and now set this to talk. Generate. Okay, I have this big link here because I don't really need that. What if here I had put info instead? Yeah, that works. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, let's keep it. The font weight, I am not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure about this one. And the font size, I'm not sure either. Let's go. Yes, the UL of course is bad, but I can fix that. What's the lists util? List group, no. Utilities, lists. Content maybe, content, typography, list unstyled. Yes, that's the thing. List unstyled, what does this do? Padding left 0, list style none, that's what I want. So I want padding left 0 for the annoying. UL. Okay, list style none? Not sure. Well, I mean, it's not actually this that I want to do. It's padding left, just less of it, like run rem. Yes, that's better. Okay, padding left one rem. That's better. Okay, I think that's what we want. We have a little bit more. Yeah, well, let's add some margin on the left. So that's going to be on my classes. Float end. MS3 maybe? Let's regenerate. Let's rebuild. What do you see? Yeah. Maybe table of contents can be in bold. So how's it called? Talk title. I can do something better than this. Typography. Responsive font sizes. Font weight. Yes, bold. Oh yeah, they say to use strong instead. Well, that makes sense. Let's go with talk title in my CSS. And let's go with font weight 700. Let's see where we go with that. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Should it be smaller? What do you think? Should put that in li, not here. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so now my items here are font 808 RAM. That's 7. 7 seems better. Table of contents seems a little bit too big. Or not. No, maybe that's fine. Now that seems small. Let me look at a non-zoomed version. That would be too small, right? That would be way too small. Yeah, that would be way too small. I think that is good enough. Just the underlink, the underscore, I don't really like it. Meh, let's keep it. Oh wait, the padding seems a little bit too big. Maybe not. Padding seems a little bit too big. No? What do you think? The top and bottom padding seems a little bit too big. What if I say py1 0? Of course, that's way too small. What about py1? That's too small as well, but what gives me this enormous amount of padding inside? Yes, that's the UL. That's the UL that wreaks havoc with the rest. Margin bottom goes to 0. Thank you very much. Okay, and now I can have the py maybe 2. 2 seems better. Py goes to 2. Okay, I think we have something in here. Let's reload. Ooh, I still forgot this font size. Hey, how are you doing? Hi, Grillo. So, I'm almost there, Right, so I have this now, and I think I can publish it. I have this table of content here, I have a thing, like if I'm interested in packaging, I can go there and scroll me back to packaging, that's great. Okay, let's keep it that way. Okay. So, table of contents, that's done. I can remove it from my to-do here. We have reviewed the content. What did I change? Okay. Actually, let's not keep things that are commented out because that doesn't make a lot of sense. So that's the table of contents. So yes, no, yes. Oh yeah, and I want to add this talk thing myself. And that's going to be after the p equal lead. Okay, good, good, good. And I have that in the general, I think that's in the, okay, that's in the summarizer. Summarizer, okay. Summarize, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where does the p equal lead? Oh yeah, that's in the websites generator, websites builder, yes. P equal lead, the announce, and then this, and then the talk. It's now added. It's now going to be added to new stuff. Cool. Should I add this to the previous? Yes, of course. I should add it to the previous one. Good. Let's add a table of contents. Good. Now fix the links to the meeting logs. Good. Add the link to the repo in the about page. Content page about. Good. Update the content. It shouldn't be. Yeah, let's build it without the draft option. Right. And now let's upload. Well, let's check before I upload. Wait, it's small. It's way smaller than I thought. Oh, that doesn't give me... No, that's wrong. Why didn't it add the CSS that I wanted? Huh. Oh yes, that's because it generates full links. Yes. That's normal. That's because it takes the CSS from the main deployment version because it's all absolute links now. Let's upload. Okay, so I'm uploading things to my account on Fedora People. I now have the table of contents. And it should be correct. You know what? I think we're done with this for this week. So we reviewed the content and we improved the software that builds it. I think it's actually pretty good now. I think that's pretty good. I think we might be ready to announce it. What do you think? If you have any comments on that, I'm happy to take those into account and try to improve stuff. Woo! I'm happy to have this to have brought this to a point where it's actually usable. You know. I'm pretty happy with this. Also, it got us the chance to read about everything that happened this week, which is always nice. We take the time to do that together. So, okay, I'm gonna stop here, and I'm going to try and announce this next week. What model am I using for the generation, by the way? Right now, I'm using Gemini because that's what I have access to as a Red Hat employee. But my plan is to start using other models if possible, whenever this becomes possible. For example, I am very interested in, so there are open source models. Oh, announcements. Really? Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Oh, that's good to know. Thank you. Announcements. Well, that's an I announce. Yeah, okay, it's a verb. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you, because I learned this. I learned something this week. Is it somewhere else? Yes, it's here. Wow. Yeah, probably going to break everything. That's fine. I mean, the editor is going to tell me about it, I suppose, if I make mistakes. Doing something? Yes. Okay. Yeah. To finish on the discussion, there is a model that let me I'm not. I don't remember it right now, but there are models that are free, and the material used to train them is also available, and that's I think the best we can hope for, and the best we can find. Let me find that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where did I put this? I had that in somewhere. Olmo. Yeah, Olmo. That's the name. Okay, so I've been wanting to try Olmo out. So Granite is cool, but I don't think you have access to the data that has been used to train them. The Olmo models, however, give you access to everything. Let me show you that. Yes. Olmo from AI2. Oh, that's not on the right. Of course. So, right. So I'd like to try the 32B think or instruct. So I want to try that, except they're not available for us. 7B are nice because I can run them at home. Yeah, yep. So right now, I don't have access to them for free. I have been talking to my manager to get some money on that, try and be able to try those open source models for the community. Right now, using Gemini is not great, but I can easily swap that to something else later. And I wanted to see if make a proof of concept more or less, like make something that see if what I produce is useful in any way to people in the community. That's not clicking? Yeah, that's clicking. So open data, etc., etc. Before I spent too much time, trying to swap out models, etc., etc., I wanted to make sure that it was going to be useful. So I want to try this. Replace Gemini with this, but in the meantime, so all right. So announcement. I was doing that. Okay, last fix before I close this stream. Uh-oh. Hopefully, I didn't share a file that I'm not supposed to be sharing. Let me just make sure that I edit the actual configuration file, not while sharing my screen, which would allow anyone to look at the API key, even though I can regenerate it easily. I would rather not. Just a second. I'm changing the announces thing to announcement. Okay. Let's close this one and never open it again in front of the screen, during the stream. Very well. What else do I have? There were 2 announces. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's not good. There were 2. Okay. Summarize. There's the. Okay, where is it? Announces with an capital A. No. Okay. Announce. Let's see if I have this. Announce. There's 2 N's, right? No. Okay, where's my config.py thing? I was sure the grant datasets were published though. Maybe I was confused with other thing. I'm not sure. Or I think I would have noticed, but I don't think so. I mean, it's not the grind models. It's not all the grinds. I'm not sure. I can check that. I'm not certain here. So okay, where else do I have this thing? I'm gonna change everything, but hopefully okay. And that's the sources, which I do not care about right now. That's for announces. Do I have announce? Announce. Yeah. Okay, it's in config. Of course. Oh, I did say announcement here. Okay. Okay. What else am I missing? Announce collectors, of course. Okay. Gigantic refactoring because I can speak English. That's fantastic. Announce collectors. And there goes the announce collector classes. Okay. Thanks for bringing that to my attention. The French word obviously is annonce, which is why I made the mistake. It's when it's too close that the mistake is easily made. Let's look at the, okay. Oopsie. Thanks. Now let's try to build it, make sure that it still works. It still works. Okay. Yeah, naming is hard, but it has to be consistent. Okay. I'm publishing it and making sure. Oops, no, that's not the right one. Thank you. Announcements. Okay. It's called Fedora-announce now. Oh yeah, it's because it's the verb this time. Let's go. There should be other discussions now. Where's my other discussions? Oh no, it's not there. Oh no. Because there's other discussions as well here. Why is GNOME separate from Workstation? That's a good question. Are those the same people? Yeah. Isn't there some work on Workstation that is not related to GNOME, or is it the same thing? I guess it's the same thing. Yeah, like, you know, the cross desktop thing, but it's the same people. Okay. Okay. Okay, so there's no non-GNOME people for the past 10 years. I've really been following that closely, apparently. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I can merge this together. I can merge them together. So let's go with gnome. I'll remove the workstation. Discussion tags is now workstation working group. Or should I just remove the... Yeah, I should just remove... I should just put everything in workstation, yeah. Interesting. Yep. Good idea. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna merge these two and call that workstation/gnome. Okay. I'm gonna share the screen again because I was editing a file that nobody should see. And where is it? It's here. So there was, of course, the Bugzilla thing, which we already discussed. No formal discussions. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. Of course. Okay, that makes sense. Rebuild. And upload. Okay. So there's something that is a little bit annoying and that I'm not sure why it happened. In theory, the summarizer should produce an other discussions thing, and it didn't. Summary in summaries.group. Okay, and the summaries here. Let's summarize groups. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, that's why. It forgot one thing. Anyway, groups.append. It forgot to summarize the non-group. The other discussions that are supposed to be... So, wait, what? Oh yeah, of course, it's group other. Okay, so there was a mistake, there was a part missing, and I'm going to add it again. But it's going to take a little bit a while, so probably do it, or I'll probably do it over the weekend. It's an interesting part though. If you look at, that's a stupid bug. Anyway, if you, so now it's now called workstation gnome. So if you look at last week's summary, at the bottom, there is an other discussions thing. And this is all the discussions that weren't sorted in one of these groups. That's mostly things on Fedora Devel list, but there's other things as well. So I haven't generated that for this week. I'm going to do that now-ish, well, after the stream, because it's a little bit late for me. And, or can I skip that part? You know what? I'm going to try that. Oh yes, of course. One config.tuml.example, where I don't want. I'm going to leave this as workstation. Oopsie. Gnome, and that goes for the tag gnome. Okay. merge workstation and gnome. Do it. Also generate the other group. 4. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and generate it. -m. I'm going to try and generate it, but I'm going to try and disable the other LLM calls so that I save some time. Maybe that's not going to work. Maybe it will. We'll see. So groups. There you go. Okay. Okay. Let's see if I can generate it properly. So no collect, no build, well, no summarize. I'll do the summarize. I'm not sure that's gonna work. Oh yeah, and in the meantime, in the sources, in the content that I have, I'm gonna move the announce discourse to announcement. Mainline to announcement. Thank you. Okay, let's see if the LLM is going to generate something for me that I can use or not. So right now the LLM is building a summary for all the discussions that I have not been able to sort into the different groups, either because they weren't tagged or they ended up on devil list, which is unsorted more or less. So of course it takes a while, and in the meantime I should drink something. Okay. I have something. Okay. So let's see what it has produced. It should now be a much smaller thing. It gives me other discussions. I'm gonna add that to, yeah, it's kind of long. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the existing one that I had before. So here first, I'm gonna undo. I'm gonna go back to what I had before, and in here, I'm gonna save, I'm gonna copy all these other discussions. And now restore the file. And put it back. There you go. Rebuild the thing. Right, and now I should have something in here that contains the other discussions. Okay, so what do we have here? In discussion about sharing a printer, driver, RPM, user asks for an update, blah, 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 post a link to GitHub discussion, yes. Conversation regarding Fedora mobile devices, yes. Discussion about the correct way to list man pages in a spec file, okay, yes. Fedora packaging guidelines, yes. Ping non-responsive file system package means the responding, cool. Non-responsive maintainer process initiated for 3 maintainers, successful, all maintainers responded, cool. Description how to package a small tool for large monorepo, cool. Maxwell G requested the commentator for the popular blah 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 blah, okay. Mount requested more than 20 pending pull requests, okay. Investigation libuv, okay. The enforcement of LPM signature checks, checking, okay. State of flux, okay. Web frontend for de-empowering screens, very good. Discussion about packaging on less pipe, blah blah. Inactive packagers, okay. Segmentation fault is in maps, okay, mumps. Protobuf and gRPC static only. 3-seater APM spec parser. Enforce APM signature checking by default. Oh, Panu! Rendering bug in this, okay. Stabilization, okay. Mistake in Ukraine translation of CPIO package, very good. Okay, we have new contributor introductions. I've asked the LLM to separate the contributor introductions and the package updates and package findings from the rest, because there's a lot of those usually. Pocket Blue package. If there are other common categories, I can also do that for others. Package updates, OCaml, Mongo C driver, okay. Sonem bumping, okay. PDL, okay. F45 change proposal. Sonem bumping, mean GUI post, okay. Release of TuneD, okay. Orphan the YASM package, very good. Okay, orphan the PCRE, okay. Spectrographic. Yes, I think that looks good. I'm glad that I saw that before publishing and announcing it, because that I think that's a pretty good. It's an important part of the Fedora activity. What goes on Devel list, so you would have been ashamed to miss it. Of course, it makes for a page that is twice as long, but you know. I could add something like, and that's all for this week. But yeah, more on that later. Okay, well, that's a ton. I mean, that's a ton of activity for a week. Oh, that's Feb 9 to Feb 15. Sorry, that's this week. Other discussions, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with, I'm going to send that. I'm going to use that. And maybe announce it to people and see if we can get to, see if we can get it to a point where it's useful to a lot of people. It looks correct, and I think we can spend some time at the end of we can spend some time during the streams every week to review those, because I think it's useful if it's useful to the community, and I think it is. Oh, there's wait workstation nom and packaging groups. Let's fix that. Workstation and packaging. Let's go workstation. Okay. Are there other mentions to workstation that is not GNOME? Okay, cool. Good. Let's rebuild and upload. Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, let's stop here. I think it looks useful to. I think it looks useful. At least it's useful to me. I hope it will be useful to other people. And I'm going to stop here, and I'll see you next week. We're probably going to do the same thing for a couple weeks and see where that takes us. So see you next week for a review of the activity in the Fedora project. And thank you for attending, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everyone.